I bet you won't believe what I'm doing right now. I'm actually moving all of our homeowners' items that they were storing in their garage into this freshly encapsulated crawl space. This environment previously had high humidity, moisture problems, roaches, and mold. And now, after being encapsulated, it is an environment that's safe for storage, and the homeowners just love it. Hey everyone, this is Todd Prosan from 58 Foundations with another installment of Tech Talk with Todd. In today's edition, we're going to be talking about crawlspace encapsulation. And after doing this for 22 years, I'm still extremely passionate about it. Most people don't even believe that the space below their home is part of their home. So I'm here to educate you and tell you about some of the features and benefits that are involved in crawlspace encapsulation. I think a lot of homeowners have a misconception of what a crawlspace actually is. A crawlspace is actually designed to separate the soil and the ground from the floor level of the home. Some crawlspaces are 10, 12 inches high. Some crawlspaces are 10 or 12 feet high. The topography of the earth on which it was built on is what dictates the height of that space. And so that space is kind of a forgotten space when it comes to homeowners. The fact is that that is part of your home. And a lot of the things that affect the home upstairs begin at the lowest level, which is your crawl space. When we talk about the stack effect, everything that takes place in the lower level of the home in an unencapsulated space is being brought into the upper levels of the home. That includes moisture, humidity, odors, soil gases, and potentially radon. These are all things that we try to protect our customers from at 58 Foundations. And we do that by using only the best products in the industry. So one of the things that's most important to remember when encapsulating a crawl space is that it starts with a plastic membrane that's on the ground. That membrane is taped and sealed to stop any moisture or gassing from coming up through the soil into this space inside. Also, you would then want to go up the walls to a specific height to make sure that you're protecting that wall area from allowing moisture to mitigate in. Because remember, blocks are just like a very hard sponge. If you were to take water on the outside of a block wall and let it sit there for a few days, you would actually see wet spots on the inside. Some of the other things that you want to make sure that you do when you have an encapsulated crawl space is control the humidity inside. Many people spend a lot of money buying dehumidifiers at some of these big box stores. And the problem with them is that they're not very efficient, not only from an energy standpoint, but also from how much energy it takes to take out the amount of water that's necessary to keep a crawl space below 50% relative humidity. At 58, we use only commercial products that are designed specifically for crawl spaces, and they're also designed specifically for the size of crawl space. So we have multiple different sizes. These units are very quiet, they're very energy efficient, Energy Star rated, and they also take out a very high level of moisture per kilowatt hour. So let's discuss for a minute some of the benefits of having an encapsulation done. And so the first thing I'd like to talk about, which is the most common, is moisture control. By controlling the moisture, you reduce the opportunity for pests or rodents to stay inside your crawl space. Every animal needs moisture or water, and if you remove that moisture or water, then those smaller bugs are not available for the larger bugs to eat, and the larger bugs are not available for the rodents to eat, and ultimately the environment becomes much cleaner and much safer. The other things that are also tremendous value propositions by having a crawl space encapsulation system is if you have somebody that has high allergies or they have sinus issues, the air that they're breathing is now a lot safer and a lot cleaner because of dehumidification and filtration systems that we put in to make sure that that air, once again, is safe for the inhabitants. The other thing that's very important to remember is high moisture levels are not good for the wood. If you have wood in your crawl space, which everybody does, ultimately that wood moisture content needs to be at a specific level. And so ultimately we're able to control that by controlling the environment in which we encapsulate. A few other things that people may not be familiar with is just poor air quality, right? The actual soil gases that come up into this crawl space and work their way or penetrate their way into the home through their plumbing pipes or through their electrical openings is no longer available, because that vapor barrier and the material that goes up the walls stops that. So even though the stack effect is still trying to pull its way up, it's now only able to pull the air that's above the vapor barrier, which is much cleaner and much safer for the home. One of the other benefits is energy. My wife specifically likes the house to be really cool, or at least she thought she did. So she would set the thermostat at the house at 68 degrees. But once we put a commercial dehumidifier in our home, we found out that it wasn't actually the temperature of the air that made her comfortable, but it was actually the moisture content. So by reducing the moisture to below 50%, we were able to move our thermostat from 68 degrees up to 71 degrees, and it still felt the same on our body. So once again, being able to save energy costs by raising the thermostat 3 degrees was about $60 a month in my specific home. I'm not sure what it would be in your home, but also the comfortability for me, my wife, and my children was tremendous.